Should I do it? Good, you just know you don't need to. It's perfect.
Can anyone see the sentence right on the top? Can anyone tell me what that missing blank is? Arjuna was afraid to fight because of his...
attachment?
That's right, attachment to his relatives.
Rishi doesn't need power right now. Rishi, sit down right here. I left your spot.
So you guys have probably experienced this or seen this, where you're trying to convince someone to do something and you know it's the right thing, so you might have to convince them in a few different ways. Like you tell them one way and then they still don't fully agree with you, so you tell them another way, you tell them another way. So Krishna told Arjuna 3 different ways. He tried 3 different ways to convince him what was the right thing to do. So the first thing he told them, because, see, when you're young, you probably don't think about this very much, but Arjuna was afraid to do anything because he was actually afraid it was going to be a war, so he thought people are going to die. So how are we going to fight the war if people might die? So the first thing Krishna taught him was that you don't die. Someone's body might die, but you are not your body, so how can you die? So he explained there's a difference between your body and the real you. Does anyone know what the real you is? You do?
The soul.
Soul, that's right. Where's your soul? Do you know where it is?
Chest.
Yeah, right in there. And do you know how big it is? Big you are, your soul? Yes.
Oh, like very small?
Extremely small. So small even the most powerful microscope can't detect it. Infinitesimally small. So it's a very small divine light, you can say, or divine power, and that's your true self.
But
yes.
But his life is really big.
That's right. Okay. So the first thing Krishna tells Arjuna is that if something exists, it can't be destroyed. It means, think about it this way. Are you here now?
Yes.
Then you exist. So if you exist now, you will always exist. No one can ever make you stop existing. So you can never die. That's what Krishna taught Arjuna. But he actually told him that there are 3 things that live or exist forever. So the 3 things are in number 1. See down there, the 3 eternal. You know what the word is for something that exists forever? Yes. Immortal is good, and there's one that starts with E as well. Yes. Eternal is another word. So 3 eternal existences are 1A. The English word is God. God lives forever. But there's a Sanskrit word that you can learn. It's Brahm. B-R-A-H-M. So Brahm is the Sanskrit word, or one of the words we have in Sanskrit for God. So nobody ever created God, and God will never die. God has been here forever, so God is eternal. And what's the second thing that's eternal? Look on your page next to where God is written. In B, what's the next one? Can you see on your page? What's written? Jessica? Good. So, does anyone know what the Sanskrit word for soul is? Atma. That's right. A-T-M-A. And what's the third thing that existed forever? Who didn't get a chance yet? You didn't get a chance. The cosmic power. And the Sanskrit is a language, in case you don't know. It's the language that Gita is written in. So the Sanskrit word for cosmic power is?
Maya.
Maya. M-A-Y-A. So you can think that there are three things that exist. There's us, the souls, there's God, and the third thing is the whole world. So these three things exist forever. Although, you know how we say God created the world? And then eventually the world will get dissolved. But it's not like God created the world out of nothing. Think about it like this. Like if you go, anyone here ever been to the beach and made a sandcastle? Okay, so did you create the sand when you went to build the sandcastle? The sand was already there, but you used it to make it. And then let's say a wave comes and washes it away. Was the sand destroyed?
Yes. No.
The castle was destroyed, the sand is still there. So like that, this world is made of an energy. So God makes the world and then He dissolves it. But the energy is still there, so then it's like if you come and build the sandcastle again. So God keeps making the world and dissolving the world, making the world, dissolving the world. But the energy is that this cosmic power is here forever. God never made that. It's always been here. And no one ever made God, and God never made us. Because we've been here as long as God has been here. Yes?
Wait, so you said that God was never born? Mm-hmm. So why do we celebrate like God's birthdays?
Because that's when He visits the Earth planet. He has like a simulated birth. But it's not like before that He didn't exist or something. He did exist. He just visited from the divine world. And when He comes, he comes like a little baby. He becomes a little baby. So it looks like He was born, but actually He existed before. Yes?
I have a question. Why would God keep making the world again and dissolving it?
He gives us a break. Think of it that way. Like you're active during the day and then you sleep at night. So the universe is active for a while and then it gets dissolved. And everybody gets a break and then God starts it all again. Yes? Say that again. Oh, God could lift up the world? Sure. Can think of it like God is holding up the world right now, the whole universe.
You can play soccer with it. No.
Any other questions? No. Okay, so now let's talk about our true self, which is the soul, and our body. See, there's in number 2, the difference between body and soul, and there's 2 columns. So let's compare body to soul. Does anyone know, just off the top of their head, of a difference?
Yeah. Eternal and not eternal.
Good. Soul is eternal, and the body is temporary, or not eternal. Did you have something? Nikhil, you had something? Yes. Good. The body is physical, you can see it and touch it, but the soul is, you can say, subtle. Sure.
What should we say for
Subtle means like the opposite of physical.
very little?
Yeah.
The body you can see and the soul you can't see.
Good.
Seeable, not seeable.
Yes.
The soul is very small and the body is big.
Yeah, good. Even, what's the smallest living being? Probably a bacterium, right? So the soul is even smaller than that. Soul is even smaller than an atom or an electron. Mm-hmm.
An atom is smaller.
I have another one. The soul can't die, but the body can die.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, see, all these look out, see out the window, there's plants and trees growing. Those are living beings and they're alive because there's a soul inside them. But you know that probably you've seen in your house, did you ever have a house plant that died? Or something, or you saw an insect die, right? So any living thing, its body can die. But when your house plant died, there was a soul inside it. That soul didn't die. The soul left the plant and it went and got born in another body somewhere. Yes?
Yeah, but isn't that the same thing as eternal and temporary?
Yes, but write it anyway. What's that? No, the soul doesn't need like blood supply or anything. You can say God gives life to your soul. Yeah.
So God goes to the soul with it?
God is inside your soul, giving life to your soul.
So God goes with the soul?
Yes, that's right.
So
Anywhere the soul goes,
So
God
God is
goes.
both big and small.
Yeah. Yes.
One who's like in charge of the other.
That's right. Yeah, soul is in charge of the body. And if the soul leaves, then the body is nothing. It's kind of like, see, I'm wearing this shirt, right? So I can move my arms and the shirt moves with it. But is the shirt alive? It's not. Something like that. Your soul is the thing that's alive, that's in here. Your body is just like clothing for your soul. Let's go down to number 3. The soul takes a new, yeah, you can say life or body. Just like when our clothes wear out, we get new ones. So let's say I died right now, like in the next minute. Okay, and so you just all see me fall over, right? So then what happens? But that's the thing. You're saying it would be scary, but why is it scary? Do you get scared when you change your clothes?
Well, it depends.
Right? It's not a big deal. You're like, okay, this thing wore out. Let me throw this in the garbage and get a new shirt or a new pair of pants. So that's not scary, right? So this body is like clothing for your soul. So when the body wears out, your soul just leaves it and then it's born again. No big deal. So that's what Krishna is telling Arjuna. Death is not something to be afraid of. It's just something natural that happens.
It travels all over the earth.
It can go anywhere, sure. See, let's say I died right now and my soul would leave here. Then according to whether I was good or bad in this life, my soul would be transferred to some pregnant mother who has like a baby growing inside, but a really small baby, and my soul would enter, and that would become my mother and my new body for this life.
So that's where it goes inside the tiny baby. Goes inside the baby.
Yeah, that goes inside the tiny baby that's growing, and then that becomes your new body for this life. Yes?
When you do take a new body, why do you not remember your old life?
It's because your memories are stored deeper and deeper in your mind the farther back in time they are. So just like it's harder to remember anything from when you're 4 years old, now that you're grown up.
Yeah.
So the previous life is buried deep in your subconscious, so you can't like think about it consciously. Yes?
If you try hard enough through meditation or whatever, can you get to that?
Yes. Yeah.
But if we've had countless lives, our mind is only so big. Wouldn't it build up to the top of our mind?
The mind is also infinitely subtle. So think of it like a microchip that can store so much information. And let's say you had 1,000 microchips like that, and you took all of the information from 1,000 microchips and put it on one single microchip that was millions of times greater than those other The mind is kind of like that. It can store an unlimited amount of information.
So exactly where is this?
The soul is right in the center of your chest, but you can't see it, but you can feel that that's where I am.
So it's hard? The soul is hard?
No, it's actually, the soul isn't a physical thing. It's a divine. Think of it like a divine, or like you know when a fire is burning and a spark comes out? The soul, think of the soul like a spark of divine light. Divine means God. God's light. That's what our soul is.
So it's like next to the heart?
Yeah, it's right in the center of your chest.
So it's next to the heart?
Yeah, the heart's over here and your soul's right there. So, yeah. But actually it gives life to your whole body. Just like a candle. Let's say we turned off all the lights and we put a candle in the middle of the room. The candle is in one place, but it's giving light to the whole room. In the same way, your soul's here, but it's giving life to your whole body. Yes?
So that means there's like a certain amount of souls in the world.
That's right. There's a fixed amount of souls. But the number is actually unlimited, but fixed. There's no new souls being born, and no souls can die. So it's fixed, but it's unlimited. It means millions and millions and millions and millions. If you started counting the number of souls, you would never stop counting.
It's like energy. It can't be created.
No, you're one soul. You're one soul. But just like you, and then me, and then all these people, how many souls are there in the universe? Unlimited. Millions and millions and millions.
So it can be more than 1 million?
Yes. More than a gazillion.
More than Google Plus?
Yes.
More than anything, but there's one fixed amount.
That's right.
If we can figure out how many people are...
Yes.
Sorry, okay.
2 minutes, please. मैं भी बच्चा बन के question पूछ लूँ?
No, we have to finish
You know how like the world just reached a 7 billion point of people in the world?
Yeah.
Before it wasn't 7 billion, it was like a lot less.
Yeah.
Where were those souls like stored, I guess you could say?
They were in other species, because a soul isn't differentiated like, oh, there's a certain soul that's born as an animal and a certain one born as an insect. Souls are souls. So we can be born in any species, in any life form. So then just more of them get to be born as human at the same time, so the human population increases. Okay, should we go on? Let's turn the page.
Whatever is born is one day.
That's right, Rishi. Whatever is born will one day die. So like a plant. The plant grows, it gets to a certain age, then eventually it dies. But did the soul that lives in that plant die?
No. So
That's right.
same thing to a plant like a person?
That's right. So this body was born, it grows, it'll get old, eventually it wears out, it'll die, but my soul doesn't die. Get the difference? The body wears out, but the soul, you, means the soul lives forever. Yes? What's that? God is a little different. God doesn't have a separate soul and body like us. He is his body, and his body lives forever. His soul is his body, or his body is his soul. They're one and the same. So he can't leave his body, and he can never die. His body can never die. That's different with God. Souls.
His soul is that big.
That's right.
Wait, what about reincarnation? How would that work?
We reincarnate. God doesn't reincarnate. God can just appear anywhere at any time. Any time he wants.
Five places at the same time.
That's right. God can appear in a million places at the same time if he wants, with one body.
I just have something in referring to God. If God has only, well, I forgot my question.
Okay, let's, if you think of it, ask me later. So the next part of that is, whatever dies is reborn. It's like a cycle. But this is referring to our body. The soul never dies.
Does everybody have this?
Yeah. I hope.
This dies.
Okay, the next one. Krishna also tells Arjuna about what the world is like. So he says the world has pairs of opposites. So an example of a pair of opposites in the world would be
Good people and bad people.
good and bad. Yes?
So if say there was no bad, there could be good. So
Um,
they would be referenced
I
to
mean,
good.
in the divine world where God is, there's no bad. There's only perfect good. But the nature of this world is not perfect. It's always got the opposites. It's got the thing you like, and it also has the thing you don't like. So good and bad. What else? Yeah.
New and old.
New and old. Night and day. Light and dark.
Happy, sad.
Happy and sad.
Well, we could keep on going.
Yeah, we could go on for a long time.
What was the other one?
Night and day. Light and dark.
Illiterate and educated.
Yeah.
Dominant small.
What's that?
Dominant small.
Yeah. What's that? Those aren't really opposites, though.
Dead and alive.
Yeah, dead and alive. Okay, and the other thing is that these opposites always keep taking turns. So the big word for that is fluctuating. Fluctuating means up, down, round and round, taking turns one after the other.
Cycle.
So like night, then day, then night, then day. Happy, sad, happy, sad. Has anyone here ever been happy all the time and never felt sad?
No.
And has anyone ever just felt sad all the time and never felt happy?
You're happy.
You're smiling right now. So the two keep changing. Sometimes you feel happy, sometimes you feel sad. And it keeps changing like that. Life and death, life and death.
And then illiterate
So is
and educated
C
would
changing?
not.
And so C is, they are temporary, because none of those opposite things last forever. They keep changing one into the other. And because of these changing opposites a person experiences, we basically already said, happiness and sadness, or pleasure and pain, whatever you want to write there. You can come in. So E is, if you know this, then you don't get bothered by the world or affected. we had so many questions and discussion that we haven't made it through all the material yet. So you can hear the end of the lesson with the youth.
I filled out.
Oh, you already filled it in? Okay, but we still have to give everybody else a chance.
Wait, let other people answer.
Yeah.
So, do you know what E means? What I meant by that? That if you know that the world is always going